20146. That is your SMS line at Metropol TVKE across all your social media platforms. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage. Hashtag business am get involved. This is your official sector trends. Let's talk about what the COVID-19 pandemic has really taught us, because during this period in which human-to-human interactions has been further discouraged by the social distancing measures and the shift of the economy online, logistics and marketplace services have been forced to change in the face of the pandemic to serve a rising need of clients who want intermediaries from point of sale to receivership. Luckily, logistics services have been evolving through time in the country, moving to what is now seen as a well-integrated system able to solve needs of local customers to the last mile. The question remains is whether there are more spaces to be filled in the logistics space in the country. This morning, we feature Nilete, and joining us in the studio is Mr. Madenge, the CEO and founder. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So now, when we say Nilete, in fact, when I looked at the name, I was like, wow, it is quite precise and concise. Let's start with what made you think about Nilete.
Nilete came from the fact that you realize when you buy something online.
Yes.
A lot of the time, the logistics, the support, for you to get it to your place, you're not usually there. So we brought a service whereby when you buy something, it is brought directly to where you are. Mm-hmm. So if you want it to be brought to your office, it is brought to your office. If you want it to be brought to your home, it is brought to your home. If you're sending it to someone who is maybe your friend, it is brought directly to your friend. And that's why the word Nilete, which is a Swahili word, which means bring it to me.
It to
exactly.
Me, isn't it? I say that how it's precise, it's concise. Let me just use that word as well. Somebody's going to ask you, is this an idea born out of the COVID-19 pandemic? And if indeed it is, what opportunities are you trying to fill in the country?
The idea for Nilete came well before COVID became a thing.
Yes.
So we noticed that in Kenya, when you're buying something, there's a lot of unknowns. So many things that are not precise. How much do you pay for shipping? How much do you pay for it being delivered? What if you're not there? All those questions were already there. But when COVID came, a lot of businesses started struggling. If you walk around the streets of Nairobi, you'll notice that a lot of the floors, especially the ground floors, they're closed. People they cannot afford to keep the doors open.
I see.
So COVID made the situation much, much, much more worse. And Nilete now answers that question. How do I keep my business running when there's no traffic, there's no foot traffic in front of my business? So COVID has made it that the services that you're providing are absolutely essential. People are not willing to go and start shopping where it's so crowded.
Yes.
Sometimes you just want to buy a pair of shoes. That doesn't mean that you need to go to a crowded supermarket, right? So Nilete does absolutely answer the questions that are brought by COVID. How do we keep on doing business without necessarily interacting with large numbers of people?
Somebody would ask you this question that, well, in the country we had this culture. We said that even before COVID, people would say, well, I would like to interact with the product, touch it, feel it, go get it, and even bargain before I can actually purchase this product. You said that that was the culture in the country. Has COVID-19 changed that culture, or it has been a gradual shift from this brick and mortar way of buying products to just the online way of buying it?
Yes. If you look at the idea of haggling for prices,
yes,
a lot of the time it's very inefficient.
Yes.
A buyer knows exactly what they want to pay for.
And how much, isn't it?
Exactly. And the seller knows exactly how much they want for their product.
From it. Yes.
Yes. So when you have a meeting between how much you want to buy and how much you want to sell, you can do business, right?
Yes.
Now, when you're buying online, as you say, sometimes the problems that you might have is that you don't have the capability of interacting with the product, knowing exactly what it is that you're getting.
Nice.
But that's one of the questions which you answer.
Mm-hmm.
When you're buying something from Nilete, we make sure that the people absolutely have a proper description of the product.
Yes.
There's precision in terms of what you're getting.
Yes.
There's no chance of someone posting something and then you get something else. So one of the things that we guide the sellers who are on our platform, because you have to remember, we are not the ones who are directly selling. We get people who sell, but they just lack a platform to sell their product.
It's essentially a marketplace.
Exactly. So
yes.
one of the things we guide them on
yes.
is make sure that when someone looks at your ad, when someone looks at a product post which you've put, they know exactly what they're getting. There is no question about what it is. Is it red? Is it blue? Is it large? Is it small? Right? And that makes it so much easier for someone to shop.
Would you say that this is a new space for most of the businesses in the country? That now you have to shift away from the brick and mortar, and that most of your clients are online now. Is it a new space? And for the clients that you're handling right now on that marketplace, do you normally have to put them through some sort of training just so that they can be, I would say, best of fit for your marketplace?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, in reality, people have been buying and selling online for as long as the internet has been there.
Yes.
In Kenya, though, the culture has been a little bit different. You will call someone on their post and you start haggling, right? Now, what does that mean for business? If every call that you make, if every sale that you make means that someone has to get on phone and start haggling with someone on the other side, and then they have to discuss about the money that is being paid, and then they have to discuss, all this manner of logistics.
I'm gonna get it. What time is gonna come?
Yes.
Why is it gonna come?
Nilete makes it such that you put your product posts, you put your prices, you put where your shop is, right?
Yes.
And when your customer buys, they come, they look at the pricing, they look at where you're located, and they place where they want the product to be delivered.
I see.
And their shipping cost is calculated immediately. So they already know. And they say exactly at what time they want it to be delivered.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it's a little bit different from brick and mortar. And as you've said, once a shopper signs up with us, they are able to understand exactly what they're going to get. They know where and when they're going to get it. And when the sellers are about to sign up with us, we also have to teach them. This is a little bit different from selling on Facebook.
Isn't it? Yeah,
right?
it's got to be different.
Exactly. You're not... There's a thing that happens where you see someone has posted on these groups online, maybe on Facebook, and they're like, I'm selling this product. Let's say I'm selling this glass of water, and then there will be, what is the price? I'm like, let me inbox you.
Let me inbox
I will inbox you.
That's the culture in the country. I got to bargain.
Exactly. But for Nilete, there's complete transparency on what to expect.
Yes.
There's complete transparency on price. And on top of that, you are always assured that you will know what to expect next.
Yes. Let's go through what has been also a talking point in struggling to change this culture, especially in this online shift that most of the smaller businesses are actually trying to adopt right now, and through your platforms like Marketplace, that, wow, how do I trust that this person is a legitimate seller? And that's a question somebody would ask you. If I want to go to Nilete right now to do my shopping, are you sure that anybody else listed on that business, because we're working with pictorials, we're working with prices, is a legitimate business that in case something happens, who do I go to?
Wow, it's one of the challenges that selling online has really posed for people who are looking to expand their businesses. Because if you have a brick and mortar store and I buy something from you,
I'll come tomorrow.
I'll come back and be like, exactly.
Yes.
Online, it's so easy for someone to adopt a persona and change. Adopt a persona and change
as well.
Exactly. But on Nilete, one of the things that we do is that all the businesses which we sign up are verified. It is actually one of those steps just before you go for training on how to sell.
Yes.
We have to verify your business. We send someone to physically inspect your documents. Now, we don't insist that for you to sell on Nilete, you need to have a brick and mortar store, because that defeats the whole purpose of it, right? Yeah. But we need to know, who are you exactly? What kind of products are you selling exactly? Are they legitimate, And that means that if you're buying from us, if you're buying from a shop that is in our platform, you know that this person actually exists. This person will not change up on you. And once you send money, it doesn't go directly to them. That's the beautiful thing.
Yes.
We have security services, escrow services. So for 3 days, you can stay with the product and we still retain the money. So on Nilete, there are escrow services whereby once you buy, the money is held on security on behalf of the purchaser by Nilete.
for 3 days.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
For 3 days.
As I verify the product and say this is
Exactly.
exactly what I needed.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because if you buy a piece of like let's say software.
Yes.
Or you buy a laptop, it might take you quite some time before you fully get to understand it, before you know if it's exactly what you wanted, and within that time, you can return it. And all the sellers on Nilete are agreeable to that.
Yes.
Because I know that you don't have the luxury of examining exactly what it is that you're buying, right? So I'm going to give you 3 days. Look at it, love it, and buy some more. And if not, return it.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about the space that you're finding yourself in right now. COVID-19 came and all of a sudden, well, we are online. And the marketplaces like yours have to really answer a very intricate question. Why would I go to Nilete right now instead of going to the already established, I would say popular with a pinch of salt, to the ones that already know are working within the country? Why Nilete?
First of all, we are very proud to be Kenyan.
Yes.
100% of our team is Kenyan. And that means that the revenue, the understanding of how business works in Kenya is very innate, right? So we understand exactly how the Kenyan market works because we are that market. We are providing solutions for ourselves, right? Usually we will have to expect that someone else will come and solve our own issues.
Yes.
But now, Nilete is 100% Kenyan, and it's a fact that we're very proud of. But on top of that, Nilete is very different from what you will look or find online from other people. First of all, we allow businesses to directly communicate with their purchasers.
I see.
We don't act as middlemen. We are not brokers. You set your own prices, and they pay, right? What you're providing is a platform for the seller to sell and for the buyer to buy, and they can interact. In fact, one of the things that is quite interesting in our scenario is that when you open a shop with us, all your contact information is there, because the buyer might have some questions and they want to get you on the line. They want you to answer some questions from them. The other one is that after providing that, we also accept money on behalf of the seller. So the seller knows that when they're shipping their products, it's already paid for. And the buyer knows that even after I ship it, the money is still secure. It's not going to disappear on me, right? Our belief is that in Kenya, a lot of people are doing legitimate business. A lot of people are legitimately buying online. The vast majority of Kenyans are good people who are doing an honest living.
Yes.
It's just the truth,
Yes.
But there has been this thinking that innately we have issues, Everyone is everyone is hustling on someone. But Nilete makes it such that you have the freedom to shop. You can buy when you want. You can sell when you want. And the person on the other end, to some extent, you have that security on what you can buy, what you can sell, and you don't have to worry about, is this person legitimate? Is this person going to run away from me? Will this buyer buy? Because one of the issues that has been there is that you get an order from someone, you've discussed everything, you put your boda guy to deliver it to them, and the guy's phone is offline once you arrive there. Now that is a very quick way of running out of business if you're always engaging. But if you are to ask them to pay upfront, right? That's the moment when the whole business
becomes just seamless, isn't it? Now everybody's quite comfortable on it.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the environment in which you're doing business now. There's bigger stress on this IT environment within the country. Would you say that it is well favorable for companies like yours to thrive in it? Because we know the government is preaching, well, it's there where it needs to be. So everybody should go to that direction. Have you been finding it quite easy from your end?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. We think that technology will provide us solutions for a lot of the problems that we have.
Yes.
Now, when we started, it was everyone expected that you will start and immediately you will find challenges that are unsurmountable. But the truth is, in Kenya, people are much more open to technology because technology can give us solutions to the problems that we have.
Yes.
Now, what you find is that like for instance, I'll give a very simple example of Uber. When it began, it used to be like a very simple concept, but people are very hesitant to use it. The same with Taxify and Little Cab. But at some point, it just became accepted. Of course, they have their issues as an industry. But if you look at how adoption of that kind of technology has been, it has been very high, especially amongst a certain class of Kenyans.
Yes.
Because sometimes you don't want to drive your car. You would rather just pop into a taxi, have predictable pricing, and leave. Once you're done, you don't need to look for parking or anything, right? Technology does give us answers to these questions. And the best that we can do as a country is to embrace them. Because if you look at the efficiency of having your shop on Nilete or selling on Nilete,
yes,
no one will ever ask you for rent, right? Your shoppers will always find you regardless of where they are. They can be in Moyale and buy from you in Nairobi. They can be Kisumu and buy from you in Mombasa, right? That expands how much of your target audience, how many people can you actually reach, right? So technology does give these solutions, and technology, indeed, the adoption is very high.
Pretty much.
Yes.
All right. Somebody's going to ask you again, as we clear this conversation this morning, probably talking exactly I can get to register and shop today. You're still doing business within the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah.
And so someone's going to ask you, how do I, as a smaller businessman or business lady, going to survive within this COVID-19 pandemic, especially somebody in your industry? What must they do?
First of all, you have to realize that these are unique times. And when you're faced by challenges that you have not experienced before, you have to be willing to expand your vision.
Yes.
You have to be willing to try out new things. Now, in COVID, the major challenge that we have is interaction. The major challenge that we have is that, unlike before, where you could be flexible and move around however you want, you have to think about, how do I reach my customer?
Yes.
How do I keep supporting my customer? How do I provide them with exactly what they want? And that means that you have to adopt strategies that are in line with the system that we have now, which is social distancing, right? So you have to sell online. Not only do you have to sell online, you have to provide better support than you could before. You have to be more cautious about how your product is portrayed online, right? So you absolutely have to adopt, and if you do that, your business will thrive.
In 45 seconds, I want to shop today. What do I need to do? I want to register my business on Nilete. What do I need to do?
If you want to register your business on Nilete, you go to Nilete. At the footer, there is a seller registration page. You just fill in your details, and we will contact you with the training and the processes of how you should join Nilete. Alternatively, you can call our number, our customer support number, which is 020 800 9000. 020 800 9000. If you want to shop on Nilete, simply go to the website or download our Android app and go through the product list that is there and click buy, and you pay via M-Pesa.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
As easy as that. Charles Madenge, CEO and founder Nilete, and he's saying, well, support Kenya, especially when we're trying to move the Buy Kenya, Build Kenya initiative. Now, if you want to shop as well, you do know what to do. Just download the app and get buying and selling as well. We take a short break. Once we come back, your economic review this morning.